Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I hope you're having fun and crafting up a storm. Oh, what's going on today? Let me tell you. To all those of us who are on the East Coast, all those of you who are on the East Coast, wow, we've had an adventure for the last week. We've had gray days, light and dark gray days. We had yellow days, orange days, and when the rain comes, we then have a clear day. It has been amazing to think that a fire so far away can have such an effect on us. Could you imagine the people who are closer? My heart goes out to them because I can't even imagine that. And to see fire crews flying in from all over the world, wow, there are days I feel as though we're in a movie, except I look out the window and it's real. That is just so bizarre. But you know what? We will get through this. We've gotten through other things. We will get through this. And I'm sitting here and I realize this looks as though I have some sort of weird scarf draped over me, but I don't. But you know what? The AC is on and I cannot get caught with what looks like a scarf around my neck, because the question then becomes, if you're cold, why is the AC on? And no one is allowed to turn off that AC until October. Okay, those are my rules. Okay, so let me give you a hairline. Oh my God. Be still my, no, don't be still my heart. Wow, that was scary. Excuse me 1 second. I have a collection of jars and plates here. Okay, okay. It didn't break. It made a lot of noise, but it didn't break. And I just broke one of the cardinal rules of the princess. I bent my head. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's get to what I want to talk about today. This is not an episode with knitting. I have some things I'm working on. I have no clue when I'll even finish. And we're talking about socks. But I was reading something on the internet and I got annoyed. So I said, let me go through some of the things I wish I had known before I bought my circular sock machine. Now, one of the things I wish had happened, because I realized I bought my first machine in 2015. I wish all the machines that are around today were around then. Okay? And what do I mean by that? There's the True Knit, that's the new girl in town. And they're all the 3D printed, whether you're buying from the two established companies or you're going on Thingiverse and printing your own. That opens up a whole new world. But getting back to when I first came into this, I wish I had known about all the machines that were out there. There's so many different countries, different styles, different ways of doing things. And the one I really, really wish I'd known about are the circular sock machines that do Fair Isle. There's some sort of patterning mechanism, and they do Fair Isle. You have to push this in, because there's one, La Semuneuse. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. You can see the two different cylinders, and based on whatever it is, that thing you move, you can get Fair Isle patterning. You thread it up with your two different colors and you're cranking, and it's making these beautiful patterns. Oh my goodness, I would love to have one of those. Okay, because you can do Fair Isles on the machines that are out currently, but they're hand manipulated. This is an automatic thing, and it's not the only circular sock machine that does that. There are a few others. I can't wait to get my hands on one. I don't know that anyone who has one will part with it, and if they do, would I have to mortgage the house to get it? Maybe someone will go out there and produce on Thingiverse a 3D printed version so I can corral someone into making it for me. That just seems so exciting. Which reminds, yeah, and as I said, I wish when I had started that the 3D printed machines were out there. It might have been interesting to try them, though I do have concerns about the material they're made from. What's the maximum temperature you can work them in? Because I would hate to take my machine, to have a 3D printed machine, take it into the third world and find that it has warped on me. I don't know what I would be. But there's some exciting things out there. And as I said, I wish I had known about all the others. And in doing that, one of the most important things for me is knowing the difference between a 1-to-1 ratio or a reduced ratio machine. My understanding, my 1-to-1, these two ladies here, when I crank a row, I get a row. The reduced ratio, I have to crank a row plus in order to get one row of knitting. I understand for some people it's a medical thing, reducing stress on their shoulder, they need that reduced ratio. But that would drive me crazy because I can't think of a mechanism. How do you keep track of the rows if one crank around is not a row? It's a crank plus. My mind hasn't fully processed that. I don't get it. Okay? So it was luck that I picked two machines that had the 1-to-1 ratio. My Steber, she's 100 or 101, is one of those reduced ratios. And let me tell you, I had fun working on her because she's ancient. I was like, oh crow. But that 1 point something being a row was driving me crazy. I was like, no, I can't do this. Okay? Now, my third thing that I'd wish I'd known and understood was pricing and how it relates to each machine. What do I mean by that? You can buy one machine and it comes with 2 cylinders and 1 ribber. You can buy a machine that comes with 1 cylinder and 1 ribber. And they're not necessarily the same price. Okay? And one manufacturer will sell you a cylinder or a ribber for 100 and something. Another manufacturer may sell it to you for 200 and something. So before you buy a machine, you have to go out and do your research to find out what comes with what. Did I do that? No, because as I said, I had no clue. So I took a chance, and what came is what came, and then I just had to deal with, is this really what I wanted, or do I need to spend some more money to get something, to get more things? Okay? So I wish I had a better understanding then of exactly what came with what, and why would I need more than the package that was offered. Okay? The fourth thing I wish I knew was what would be the perfect cylinders for me. At the time that I bought the Speedster, it came with, its standard was a 72 cylinder and a 54 cylinder. That was just standard. With the machine from Quebec Blue, the AccuKnit. Blue came with 1 cylinder and you had a choice. You picked what you wanted. And I picked the 64 because everyone at the time was going, yes, get the 64. It's perfect for making socks. But what made it perfect for making socks? What people really meant is they thought they were going to, or they actually are, translating hand knit sock patterns which called for 64 stitches. So they were getting a 64 cylinder. So they thought they would then make the hand knit pattern of sock on their machine. The 64 cylinder is all right, but it ain't all that. The 60 works fine, the 54 works fine, the 72, the 96. It really all depends on what you're doing. I didn't understand that. So after I got the 64 and I started making socks, I was like, this is nice, but the patterns I'm using, a 60 is better for me. Not because of the circumference of the sock, but because of the patterns that I was working. I hope I said that right. I suspect I didn't. For example, the 64 is divisible by a certain number, 2, 4, 8, things like that. But I found the 60 was better because then I didn't have those 4 extra cylinder needles. So for me, in my head, it was easier to work patterns. As a matter of fact, when I started a year ago, I found out that the 60 was better for me because of the textures and the different types of textured patterns that I like. But I have the 64. It works when I'm doing plain stockinette. It's not a problem. I'm still in shock that after 7 years or 8 years, I can now make socks for me on a 72 cylinder. I couldn't before, they were always too big. I'm not sure what has happened. I'm just grateful, knock on wood. Okay? I wish I had known that cylinders only come with even numbers of slots. Think about it. There's the 42, there's the 48, there's the 54, there's the 60, there's the 64, there's the 72, there's the 96. I know there's some higher, 100 and something, but I haven't messed with those, so I couldn't tell you what the numbers are. But all of those are even numbers. And one of the patterns I've been trying to work would do better on 49, 55, 61, 65, 73, 97. Now there's a workaround that you take one needle out of your cylinder and you have an odd number of cylinder needles, but you have a gap that you have to hope when you wash the sock it closes up. Okay? For some reason no one has thought that you need an odd cylinder. All of them are even. Okay? And that can make a difference in the pattern that you're working. Okay? Number 7. Using the ribber is hard. Oh boy, can it be. Oh my God. The ribbers on both of these machines gave me hell. Okay? They were days, if it hadn't cost me so much, I'd have tossed them out the window. But what happens? You have to practice, practice, practice. Now there's some people out there, the day they pick up their machine, they're off to the races. Everything works well. I was not one of those people. So the ribber, it did take adjusting, working with. If this doesn't work, trying this, and that was trying on my nerves. Okay. What does I have here number 8 that sock machines do color work. I've already talked about the automatic patterning, but you can do hand manipulation if you want to do some more color work. Okay? I've done so much hand manipulating, I don't want to do color work. I don't enjoy it. But there are people who do beautiful, beautiful swirls and thingamajiggies and things going this way. It's hand manipulation. You love it, you do it. I don't love it, I try to avoid it. Okay? Now this one is funny. I wish I had known about all the different types of yarn that I can use in my circular sock machine. For some reason, based on the conversations I had and the people I listened to, I thought you needed the designer sock yarn to work on your machine. You wouldn't dare put something from a big box store in your machine. You wouldn't dare put acrylic. Your machine really doesn't care. At least mine don't. Now, I've seen some people post and say their machine doesn't like this yarn and their machine doesn't. My machines will take anything. The only thing I may have to do is change the cylinder, because a thicker yarn would be better on a 48 cylinder than a 72. But I can put designer, non-designer, big box yarn, acrylic, bamboo, alpaca, all kinds of wool. Neither of my machines have a problem with it. Okay? What else? Number 10. I wish I had known what a crank-in was. I'd never heard of it. I didn't know what that was until I saw an invitation online to one, and I went. Didn't know the people. Was, 2 states away and 3 hours? That was a trek, okay? Because to get to my first crank-in, I had to take a train, because I walked. I didn't take the bus first, so I took a train to another train. Then I had to go to the bus depot. No, that was not my first train. I took the train to a train in the middle of nowhere in another state. I got out and I had no clue where the place was, and the people who surrounded the train station did not speak English. I didn't speak their language, and I'm trying to use one of those walk GPS things. It took me a while, but I got there. I wish I had known what a crank-in was and the things that you can do and the opportunity to learn. And if people are nice enough, and most of them are, that you can try different machines and decide which one you'd like to work on some more, or which one you would like to buy. I wish I had known that. The next thing that I wish I had known is that you don't need every cylinder and every accessory that comes for a circular sock machine. Okay? Yes, you can buy them. Yes, you can try them and decide what you like, but it absolutely is not necessary. Messages keep popping up on my phone, so I'm like, what is that? But as I was saying, now that Speedy will make a socks for me that fits on the 72, I'm still in shock, and I keep saying I'm in shock. I'm like, then I really don't need another cylinder. Okay? I went a little crazy when it came to blue. For blue, I was unhappy with the 64 cylinder. I bought the 48, I bought the 60, I bought the 72, and I bought the 96 and the 60. So I have 5 cylinders for blue. Okay? Now I have to test her to see if I can make a 72 cylinder sock for myself on blue, because so far it was too big. But then it used to be too big on, I don't know, did the fairies come in and change my machine? I have no clue. I didn't do anything different. All I did was what I normally do, is play with the tension to make the stitch tighter or looser, and for some reason I can now make socks for me on the 72. It boggles the mind. I have no clue. I think those are the final thing about this that I wish I had known is, once you start, you really need to have some control of yourself, because you can get carried away buying yarn the way I did. You can get carried away buying cylinders the way I did. You can buy every cha-cha item out there that you don't necessarily need. Okay, if you have the disposable income and that's what you want to spend your money on, that's fine. But you don't need it. You can make socks for the whole family, apparently, on a 72 cylinder. Okay? And with the standard things that come with the machine. Yes, someone has made that push down thing to hold stitches. If you like it, knock yourself out. Someone else has a Lycra holder. I have one, and I must say it has it has not done a stellar job. I will keep trying it because I know me. It's usually operator error when it comes to me. Okay? Um but yeah, that's about it. Yeah, those are the things I wish I had known before I bought my machine. And you know what? It might have been to my advantage that I didn't know. I'm you know how hindsight is 2020, but I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot the other thing. This obsession with the um the hand winder for making balls to work your machine. I see people spend $100 on these ball winders. If that is what you want, you have the disposable income, knock yourself out. Your sock machine will take a ball that is winded on any winder. You can roll the yarn into a ball by hand. Your machine will take it. Okay? So if you have a winder that costs you $19.99, your machine doesn't care. People tell you, "Oh, the ones with it's a this is attached here." Ah, give me 1 second. I'm going under. It's on top. Oh, oh, oh my God. Yeah. Okay. People are spending more than $100 on this. Not necessary. You can get an ordinary winder for $9.99, $19.99. Your machine does not care. Okay? So, I think that's the final thing when it comes to what I wish I knew before I bought a circular sock machine. And let me see. Oh my goodness, I'm at 22 minutes. I need to be quiet. Thank you for stopping by. And please, I thank you for hearing what I say, but understanding what I mean. Because I don't edit. I have no such capacity. And I'm not sure I even want to learn how to do that. So, as it comes out of my mouth is how it's recorded. So, before I say bye, thank you for being here. Take care, and we're all praying for fresh air in the coming days. Bye.